Before you can attempt a renovation project on a building that's falling apart, like this one behind me over here, you need to know what that building is made up of. You need to order the right supplies and get them delivered on site. The human body is one of the most complex pieces of machinery on the planet. We cannot renovate our health or our bodies unless we provide the right supplies to each and every cell of the body. The body has an incredible capacity to heal, to replace broken cells, to fix the broken pieces, but we need to provide the right supplies. I invite you to get your work clothes on, to put your thinking cap on, and come and rethink with us how we can renovate our health. Hi friends, welcome back to our channel. Today I just wanted to take advantage of an opportunity that propped up. I don't know if I used dirty hands yesterday in the garden with my soil hands and wiped my face or something like that, but this morning I woke up with a gunky eye. Now, unfortunately, I didn't take pictures of it this morning, and I have already cleaned it out, and it is so much better at the moment that you're not actually able to see how gunky it was and how swollen it was. But nonetheless, I'm hoping to just show you what I do for an itchy eye, for an eye that looks a little bit pussy, and when you're a little bit worried that there's an infection brewing there, what you could do at home with what you have on hand without using any medication or any chemicals at all. So I'm going to just give you a quick demonstration so that it's something you can apply at home, especially with kids. They tend to have this problem cropping up every now and then. Now, to begin with, I want to start off with washing my hands, and I'm going to do that before I even touch my face or my eye. Just a couple of notes on that. We harbor a tremendous amount of germs underneath our nails. So one of the things that you want to do if you see that your eye is giving you problems, or if your kids are having mucky eyes or something like that, but also as a preventative thing, it's good to keep the nails short. It is far more easy to carry germs around in your hands and under your nails if they are long. So nail hygiene and hand hygiene is essential when it comes to caring for your face and for your eyes. If you're going to be treating an eye that is already giving you problems, it is even more important to cut your nails short and scrub your hands really well. If you have children with mucky eyes, this is especially important to tell them about as well, and to teach them. Try and encourage them not to touch their face. Try and tell them, even though it's difficult, not to rub their eyes or to scratch them because it's itchy. And especially when there's gunk in the eye, our reflex is to try and get it out because it actually blurs our vision a little bit. Try and discourage them from doing that, and teach them that they shouldn't touch their eye or try and clean it before scrubbing their hands at all. So I'm going to start off by washing my hands and giving them a good clean. Oh, my soap is finished. And then I can just show you a few easy ways that I use at home to clean out an eye that's giving problems. This is the first time for me in well over 15 years that I'm waking up with sort of pussiness in my eye, and I first got a bit of a fright, and one's reflex is to try and figure out, well, what is the diagnosis? There are so many different eye problems that can cause it to produce pus. It could be allergies, it could be bacterial infections, it could be infection in the tear duct, or it could be infection of the eyeball itself. You could have conjunctivitis. There are a couple of possibilities. The good thing is, if you're using natural remedies, you don't really have to know the exact diagnosis to begin with. There are basic care things that you can do for an eye that's looking like it's struggling without needing to have an official diagnosis, because none of what we're going to use here is going to make it worse regardless of the diagnosis. So to start off with, I'm just going to show you what I've got here. I boiled some water in the kettle and I poured that into a glass bowl, and I added a tiny little bit of salt. Now in here I've got about half teaspoon of salt in probably about half a cup of water, which is quite concentrated. If I'm going to be cleaning my eye regularly, and especially if I want to use or make my own saltwater solution for rinsing sinuses, doing eye drops or something like that, then I would typically make that solution not quite as strong. I would use normal saline, which is half teaspoon of water in a liter of water, half teaspoon of salt in a liter of water. This I made a bit more concentrated because I know that I'm not going to have a chance throughout the day to keep repeating this every 2 hours. So this is about half teaspoon in a half a cup of water. The exact quantity doesn't really make so much of a difference if you're just cleaning out the eye from the outside. If you're going to be putting in regular eye drops, it's essential that your eye or that your solution is not too strong. In addition to that, what I've added to my water this morning is crushed garlic. And if you crush garlic, you leave it out for about 10 to 15 minutes, there are reactions that happen to that garlic once it's crushed that make it more effective as an antibiotic. If you add some of that crushed garlic into warm water, you're basically making a garlic tea. Now you could either do the salt water or the garlic tea, or you can combine the two. It doesn't really matter as far as I know. If you know of any reason not to combine the salt and the garlic in one, then let me know in the comments below, but as far as I know, you can combine the two. The reason why I'm adding the garlic as well is because garlic is a broad spectrum antibiotic. So again, because I don't have an exact diagnosis, I just woke up, there's a bit of pus in my eye, there's a bit of swelling, I want to just cover for any bugs and critters that might be making a little home in my eye. So I added the garlic for that. Garlic is quite safe to use as a cleaning agent. It's excellent as a sterilizing agent. So if you're going to be cleaning wounds, you can use garlic tea. If you want to clean your hands and you don't want to use alcohol hand sanitizer, then garlic tea is also effective for that as well. Then I'm going to use some cotton buds, but I'm going to show you how to make sure that you use them effectively so that you don't spread the infection, but rather clean any infection out. Now you're going to be taking some of your cotton, and you're only going to use you're going to only do one wipe with your cotton per cotton ball that you're making. You're not going to use it more than once. Now that doesn't have to mean that you are wasting. You can take a longer piece, or however your cotton comes, and you can make your own small little balls. So I've prepared here a couple of small balls that I'm going to be using, and I'm only going to use each cotton ball once, no more than that. Now let me start off with showing you just how I'm going to do that. There are different levels of carefulness that you can use. I like to use the highest level of caution when I deal with eye infections, because things like pink eye and conjunctivitis can spread from one eye to the next very easily, and it can spread from person to person. So I don't want to cause any reason for this infection to spread if it is something like that. Mine I don't think was that serious. So I'm going to use one hand to dip into my clean water, and then I'm going to use a different hand to wipe in my eye, so that the hand that is touching my eye infection doesn't go back into my clean water. So this, I haven't touched anything with my eye yet, so this is going to be my clean hand, and I'm going to dip that into my water solution and just squeeze the extra out a little bit there. Then I'm going to transfer that over to my other hand, and I'm going to wipe the eye from the corner on the inside to the outside. And I'm not going to do a second wipe with the same cotton ball. I'm not wiping back and forth, and I'm definitely not wiping the other eye. This has now already been used, so I'm throwing that into my dustbin, and that's it for that cotton ball. Then with my clean hand, I'm going to take another cotton ball, it's completely clean, dip it into my clean water, squeeze out the excess, transfer it, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm cleaning it from the middle to the outer corner, and that's it. If you have a very gunky eye, you want to maybe repeat this a few times until you are not seeing any pus on the cotton ball anymore. Mine is looking so much better after this morning that I'm not really going to repeat this many times. There's a little bit of something sitting there, but I'm going to show you one more technique before my cotton balls run out. So the other thing that I have prepared is some charcoal water. This is just half teaspoon of charcoal in a little bit of boiled water that has cooled down. And I'm going to clean out my eye with the charcoal water. Now, as I mentioned earlier, I actually did this as well this morning, and I've only done one clean, and there was no rebuild up of any pus, and the swelling had actually gone down completely. So I think this is extremely effective because charcoal also binds any toxins and bacteria, and it helps as a cleaning agent. So I'm going to show you how I do this. You will notice that it looks extremely black on your cotton bud, but it doesn't actually do much of a mess on your face. So I'm cleaning that out, and just a once-off clean, and there's a bit of black, but it's not a massive mess. I'm going to take a second charcoal wipe, squeezing out the excess, transfer, and do a wipe with that, just like that. And then, as scary as that looks, I'm going to allow some of that blackness to just move around through my eye. So I'm blinking a little bit so that some of that can move around. And then all I'm going to do is I'm going to use my clean water again to clean some of that off. and that actually wipes off very, very easily. I'm just going to rinse my hands because of the charcoal. The charcoal will not stain your skin. It will stain material on washcloths and things like that though, so just be mindful of that. But then I can essentially just take a last clean piece of cotton and that takes off any last bit of charcoal off my eye. Now, if you are worried that your eye is very badly infected, and if you see that the pus keeps coming back, you clean it out and 2 hours later there's more pus. The first thing you can do is for the first day, just keep cleaning. Every 2 to 3 hours, keep cleaning. You can leave your mixture of salt and garlic water and your charcoal water, you can leave that ready and maybe just cover it with a piece of cloth or have it in a container like a glass jar that you can close. And you can reuse that as long as you haven't put your dirty hand into your water. You can keep using that water and you use the same technique, you just keep coming back and cleaning out that eye. Typically speaking, if you remove the gunk away from the eye that's on the outside, your own immune system will fight the infection. You are producing pus, which is essentially a combination of immune cells that has already killed off some of the bacteria, and it forms this pussy collection, but pus is mostly immune cells. So if you clean that out on the outside, your body is showing that it is reacting and dealing with the situation. If you see that it is taking a little bit longer, maybe after the first day you don't see much of an improvement, something else that you can also do is putting poultices over your eye. Now I'm going to add a link in our description box for our little video that we made for poultices. My daughter did some demonstrations where she showed how we make poultices, and there's a variety of other videos on the internet that you can also use. Poultices are very, very effective to either deliver medication or deliver healing herbs or substances to the body, or else to draw out toxins or bacteria or infection. So if you put a poultice over the eye, it can help to relieve inflammation, it can help to draw out the infection and help to clean and heal that up. A couple of options. Potato is called the gentle potato by many natural experts, and it's because it is quite safe on sensitive skin. You can use it very happily on your eye, and potato is excellent for drawing inflammation out and especially for drawing out swelling. My eye was very swollen this morning. I didn't need to actually end up putting on a poultice. The cleaning worked very, very well. But if I saw that the swelling was persisting, I would have done a grated potato poultice and put that on my eye, covered it up with either an eye patch or, put a bandage around your head or something like that. Keep it on for 2 hours odd. And that often helps to take away some of the swelling and draw out some of that inflammation. You can also put charcoal poultices on. There are alternative options. You can also use oregano, and there are other natural antibiotics that you could try as well. If you see after 24 hours that your cleaning and your poultices have not improved the situation, then definitely have that looked at again. And there are multiple options. You can obviously go to a doctor, you can go to an ophthalmologist. Very often the opticians are also good with helping diagnose and find some basic solutions. But if you are interested in using more of the natural remedies, very often it's helpful to just contact somebody who's generally experienced in practicing lifestyle and natural medicine. So for that, obviously in your area you will find the person near you. You're also welcome to message us if you ever have any questions, and we're quite happy to look at photographs and see if we can help virtually. Otherwise we will be able to maybe refer you to somebody in your area. Now I really hope that this information has been helpful for you. If you're a mom of small children, there's very few things that can be as scary as seeing a really, really gunky eye and being worried that there's something seriously wrong with your child's eye. But even for us as adults, it can be scary. So I hope you've picked up some useful tips. And if you have specific questions about this video, please share them with us in the comments or message us privately if it's something that you feel is personal. And if you've got questions about other health issues that you're hoping for us to also address in videos, then please do share that in the comment section below as well. Thank you again for watching, and we hope that we will see you again in some of our next videos.